Hello, Altwire community. Amanda here, one of the contributors. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about the Mike Shinoda show that me and Derek Oswald went to this past Sunday at the Fillmore in Philadelphia. First of all, for any of you guys that have read any of my reviews from that venue before, you guys know that it has a special place in my heart. I really love it. I think it's one of the best venues in the area, both acoustically and as far as just the generalized feel and the layout of the place. I just love it. So enough about that. So this tour was sort of a surprise. We were not sure we were going to get tickets, and then we were not sure we were going to get into a meet and greet, and we ended up getting both, which was huge and awesome. So we showed up at the venue probably about, 5 in the afternoon. Keep in mind, doors weren't until like 7, show wasn't until 8. So we were there super duper early. There was already people lined up front. Just kind of gives you an idea of just the type of fan base that these people are, that we are. So we got there about 5. They take our names. Well, they take Derek's name because he's the hot shot. We were just the followers. So they take our names, we're queued up, we get to go into the venue early, and Mike's doing a sound check. It was just really cool, it was really intimate, it was just some LPUers, some VIP ticket people, some press people. It was just really cool to kind of just see him get started on his set, kind of gave us a preview as to like what we thought he might be doing for the night. We heard the opening act go through their sound check as well. I will get to them in a minute. So that was just kind of a neat little bonus that I didn't know that we were going to get. The meet and greet itself, Mike is just a sweetheart as always, super personable, genuinely happy to see his fans, genuinely happy to be signing things, like super enthusiastic about the support that he's getting through all of this. You can just see it on his face. He's always been one to just be really indebted to his fans. He knows where he came from, he knows who got him there, and he's just super appreciative, which is really nice to see. You don't see that all the time. There's nothing more disappointing than going to meet someone that you idolize and finding out they're a huge jerk. That is not the case with this man in the slightest. So he came around where they kind of lined us up, he signed some things, and then they lined us up a second time for photos with him, the actual kind of like meet and greet. Really cool, very swift, went really well. Kudos to everyone that organized that because it just ran perfectly. Afterwards, we were already in the venue, so we did not have to go back outside. We just sort of lined up, which was great because we got ourselves like right up against the rails, right up against the stage. We all thought our eardrums were going to blow out, but that was fine. It was a while, obviously, standing there because we had gotten into the venue hours and hours early. But it was okay. They opened up the bar pretty early, so we got to have a couple drinks, just kind of relax, hang out, catch up with each other. A lot of us haven't seen each other in a while. We ran into some fresh faces, some people that we haven't seen, some people that we've never met in person before, but we've talked to on the internet, which is always a cool thing to kind of just get and meet people. Show started about 8 p.m. They were pretty much running on time. The opening act was a group of British guys that we will hopefully be getting more info out to you guys soon, called Don Broco. I have their CD here. Hold on a second, please. So, Don Broco, I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, the ring light's kind of making a weird glare. There we go. This is their album that was released back in February of this year, Technology. I did pick up a copy of that. I had a couple of the guys sign it after the show. I have to say, I had never heard of these guys before this show. I had no clue going in who the hell they were, where they came from, what their deal was. But even during their sound check, their lead singer comes on stage and he's this super tall, kind of skinny looking British guy with just this mop of hair on his head, and you're looking at him and you're expecting like this whiny emo voice to come out. He opens his mouth and it's this beautiful, rich, bass baritone quality voice. Like, I was expecting My Chemical Romance and I got Chris Cornell. I was just like really shocked. He's got a beautiful vocal tone, fantastic pitch, just blown away right off the bat. I actually turned to Derek like during their sound check and I was like, I don't know who these guys are, but I'm already impressed. When they actually got out on stage and did their thing, super high energy. They had the entire crowd moving. I mean, usually for shows like this where they're really there to see the headliner, it's usually pretty hard to get anybody rock and rolling or moving for the opening act. They're usually kind of looking at their watches. Not this time. Not in the slightest. These guys had it. They know how to work up a crowd. They know how to put on a show. They just fucking owned it. They owned it. They absolutely owned it. They played a whole bunch of stuff off their new album. I knew because the second I popped it in my car on the way home, I recognized everything. Couple songs from some earlier stuff that they did, that all good. Honest to God, all good. I was shocked. There was not one time during their set that I was bored or uninterested. Everything had a really good beat, a good energy. They were moving all over the stage. They were just like this unstoppable force. And after they were getting ready to leave the stage, I turned to Derek and I said, I don't know who they are or where they came from, but they are going to be a household name. And sure as shit, I look over and Derek is already on his phone contacting their publicist. They hadn't even packed up yet and he was already like ready to rock and roll. So we were on the same page for that. So we are trying to score an interview with those guys. Hopefully you'll see that from us soon. We are already spitballing questions to each other. So we really hope to be bringing that to you guys in the future because we'd really like to follow these guys. I think that they are gonna like really blow up. So again, Don Broco, their album Technology, out on their website, also available on Amazon, iTunes, you name it, Google Play, yada yada, wherever you get your music from. You can also stream it on YouTube. The entire thing's up there. I really do recommend checking these guys out. I was thoroughly impressed. I was really surprised, and they just have an amazing sound to them. Definitely like your generalized like alternative, just fantastic. Just I cannot rave enough. Like go listen for yourselves. You'll get it as soon as you hear it. As far as recommended songs for you guys, I have to say that standouts for me are Everybody, Stay Ignorant, Come Out to LA, and Tightrope are probably my go-tos right now. Honorable mention to Technology and Got to Be You. If you like something a little bit slower, Got to Be You is probably going to be your one that you're going to want to listen to. So moving on, there was a break between the opening act and when Mike came on, as expected. There was a little bit of a delay as far as what time we thought he was going to be taking stage versus when he did take stage. Not too terrible, but you could definitely tell the crowd was getting a little angsty. They were losing that hype that Don Broco had kind of got up for them, and they were starting to kind of come off that peak and head downwards into the land of, oh my god, when is this gonna happen? But the second that the lights dimmed and you hear the beats start coming in and you see him walk out on stage, everyone just lost their mind, which is kind of what we were expecting to have happen. So Mike came on stage. He opened with Welcome, which was fantastic. He was all over the place. He was right up in the crowd. I do have a video that I'm probably going to insert somewhere in here, probably without audio because it's really loud and there's a lot of screaming. He was like right up in front of us. He kind of like made eye contact with my phone, and yeah, it was great. It was really cool. He played a lot of stuff off of Post Traumatic. He played a couple Fort Minor songs, a couple Linkin Park songs. The Linkin Park songs had some of us like getting pretty emotional. If Chester had a part, he would usually have the crowd sing it, which was, it was heavy. It was heavy. You could definitely feel a lot of the people in the room kind of like bring it down a little bit. The energy was still there. Everyone was still hyped to be there, but there was definitely a shift in the room every time that happened. And it was, I don't think you get that at a lot of shows. You don't get that kind of camaraderie and that community feel at a lot of shows, especially bigger shows like this was. So it was just kind of cool to just feel everyone kind of come together for that and just there was just this mutual understanding in the room between everyone there that this was a moment that we were having. It's a moment. I had to turn my car on because my phone died. There's a learning curve to this thing, okay? Anyway, like I was saying, there was just like this feeling in the room that like we just understood like we were having this moment with each other and with Mike on stage, and it was just this quiet. It was loud and it was quiet at the same time. I don't really know how to explain it. It was like you just... the noise went away and it was just the music. If that makes any sense to you guys. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't know. But it was a really cool experience. It was a great show. Mike fucking brought it. He ended his original set before the encore with Paper Cut. And just the energy that he brought to that was just insane. He did do an encore. He had a surprise. He brought grandson out for Running From My Shadow, which was awesome. Apparently he was playing another venue locally and he was in the area and he came out on stage. The crowd went completely nuts. So that was just a really cool little surprise. It was great. It really was. It was probably the best show that I've seen in a while. I haven't really gone to a lot of shows lately, as you guys have probably noticed. I've been kind of inactive in the community. There's been a lot going on for a lot of us. The whole site's kind of like hit a lull. We're trying to fix that right now. So this show was it was a real kick in the ass for me. It kind of reminded me why I'm here, why we do what we do, why I love this, why I love going to shows, why I love being a part of Altwire. So hopefully this is the kick in the pants that I needed. So that was a huge bonus to this show as well. So just to end this off, for those of you that have not already picked up a copy of Post Traumatic, I highly, highly recommend that you go out and do so. Mike Shinoda's breakout as his own self. Mike Shinoda's breakout album just by himself, not as Fort Minor, not as part of any other group. Really intense, in-depth look into just his life, his feelings, his music. Just a really interesting album from start to finish. So pick that up if you can. I'm gonna have links to everything that I talked about music-wise down below, as far as how to get physical copies or stream it or download like MP3 versions of whatever, however you choose to listen to your music, vinyl, yada yada. So that's about it for me. I'm gonna sign off now. This is like sort of just a rough run at a vlog. I'm gonna see how these things go. Bear with me. I am recording this on my phone, in my car. I was gonna do it in the park, but it's fucking cold outside. So yeah, stay tuned. This is the first in hopefully a long line of videos, and we're hoping to kind of just ramp up the way that we bring you guys content. So, hang in there, and I'll see you guys after the next show. Cheers.